Happy Monday, lovely ladies. Of course, it is me, Coach V of newthinglifecoaching.com. You are seeing me on a Monday, so that means what? It is Motivating Monday. I like to provide a little bit of motivation, and I like to do what I call the new motivation to motivate you in a new way. So it's new motivation with me, the new love strategist of New Thing Life Coaching. All right. My message is very clear. I help single and frustrated women renew their hearts, preparing them with the intentional dating skills that are necessary to win at Kingdom Love. And y'all already know if I say Kingdom Love, I'm talking about dwelling in God's love, developing self love, and then discovering real love. So, Kingdom Love is that winning combination of God's love, self love between two people, and that is how they discovered real love together. All right. And again, I just told you what my message is. I want to read a passage to you before I get to the point of this video that you can probably already see from the title. I was looking in the book of Mark this morning. I've been still reading the book of Mark, and I came across, the one passage. I'm sure it's something that you're all familiar with. It's another miracle that Jesus performed, and it's when he healed the boy who was possessed with an impure spirit. And starting in Mark 9, verse 14, it says, when they came to the other disciples, they saw a large crowd around them and teachers of the law arguing with them. As soon as all the people saw Jesus, they were overwhelmed with wonder and they ran to greet him. What are you arguing with them about? He asked. A man in the crowd answered, Teacher, I brought you my son who is possessed by a spirit that has robbed him of speech. Whenever it seizes him, it throws him to the ground. He foams at the mouth, gnashes his teeth, and becomes rigid. And I asked your disciples to drive out the spirit, but they could not. You unbelieving generation, Jesus replied. How long shall I stay with you? How long shall I put up with you? Bring the boy to me. So they brought him, and when the spirit saw Jesus, it immediately threw the boy into a convulsion. He fell to the ground and he rolled around, foaming at the mouth. Jesus asked the boy's father, how long has he been like this? From childhood, the father answered. It has often thrown him into fire or water to kill him, but if you can do anything, take pity on us. If you can, said Jesus, everything is possible for the one who believes. Everything is possible for the one who believes. And immediately the boy's father exclaimed, I do believe. Help me overcome my unbelief. I want to stop right there. And of course, it goes on and it talks about, Jesus saw that the crowd was running to the scene. He rebuked the spirit. He cast it out. It came out. The disciples couldn't figure out, how come you were able to get him out? What did we do wrong? And he was like, hey, this kind can only be delivered through prayer and fasting. And he was just kind of getting on them as far as their faith is concerned. So the the disciples were trying to cast a demon out and they could not do it. And what we see is that Jesus ended up rebuking them and indicated that their faith and their belief in him was a little bit shaky. And that is why they were unable to heal the boy who was possessed by that spirit. Because what we know about Jesus is that Jesus had a message, right? Jesus had a message, and it was to do what? To follow him, to believe that he was who he said he was. His message was to have faith in him. Jesus had a message of loving others. His message was, hey, you have to go through me in order to get to the Father. That was his message, and it was clear. Now, the disciples, they were also sending a message. They were sending a message that they sometimes believed that Jesus was who he said he was. They were sending a message showing that they sometimes trusted that he would do what it is that he said that he would do. Their message was showing that they guessed he was the Son of God. Their faith was evident in the message that they delivered through their actions and oftentimes through their unbelief. So let me ask you a question. As a single Christian woman, what is your message? And what I know is that a lot of times as women and a lot of single women, a lot of times we struggle with dating and relationships because we don't know what we're doing. We don't know what our message is. We have no idea. It's like we're just kind of winging it day to day, right? And I know that for me, I can also apply this to my business. Let me go ahead and say that my message has changed a couple of times over the years. Like my true fans and family know that. Like those who have worked with me, who have done classes and workshops, they've heard me recite different messages over the years that I've actually now been in business with ministry and with coaching. I think at one point it was I help women who believe in God, who believe in God but have a hard time trusting him with the desires of their heart. I help women dwell in God's love, develop self-love, discover real love. I help women date in order to, whatever. I help marriage-minded women. So my message has changed a lot over the years. And the thing is, truth be told, I wanted to help all single Christian women. And it's why I would say, okay, well, she might be struggling with this. So I would do a workshop here, a webinar there. I would help with a certain thing like in a little class here. So I would do different things because I was trying to help all aspects of many different women because I wanted to help all women at the end of the day. But now I am clear on what my message is. And with that being said, I am able to attract the clients that I am called to serve. So I help single and frustrated women renew their heart, preparing them with the intentional dating skills that are necessary for them to win at Kingdom Love. I have a message that attracts certain women, and it is evident by what I post, by what I share, by what I create, by what I do. You have a message, even if you are not in business. You have a message as a single woman who is wanting to win at love one day. You have a message as a woman who is saying, I am a Christian and I am believing that I am going to have a good man who is going to eventually become a good husband and we will have a great marriage one day. The thing is that we have factors that determine how we proceed in our singleness. We have different factors that determine the TWACs, the thoughts, words, and actions that we end up planting in in this season. And I've seen it with many Christian women. I've seen it with many of you. And a lot of times how we proceed and what we plant, it can be based on one of the 5 phases of self-love, right? I always talk about our physical health. So the way that you take care of your body and the things that you put in your body, of course, who you have sex with and what you allow and what boundaries that you may not have, that also shows where you stand with certain things. That is a message as well. How you are financially speaking, how you take care of your finances, the things that you spend your money on, where you are when it comes to tithing and sowing and saving and budgeting and things like that. That tells a lot as well. That is also a seed. Protecting your mental health, mental stability, your peace of mind, working on certain things. That also tells a lot about who you are and it shares your message in this season. Your emotional stability and how you are with the emotions that you display. Your social circle, the kind of people that you hang out with, the kind of friends that you have, the family members that you allow to have access to you, the kind of men that you date. All of those things, your social circle says a lot. These factors can also be tied to the selfie issues. And y'all already know when I say selfie issues, I'm talking about self-esteem, self-worth, self-acceptance, self-love, and self-respect. A lot of things are evident with how we carry ourselves day to day. Our message tends to vary based on our current needs. And again, I've realized that with single women as well. Well, I'm going through this, so I need a man who's going to do this. Well, the last guy did this and I hated it. So from now on, I want a man who's going to do X, Y, Z. Like we'll allow certain things that we have gone through or where we are in that current season to determine what message we are actually relaying. And I can say that even from a business and a relational perspective, I know this to be true. What I would offer based on finances, what I would charge based on fare, who I would date based on my self-esteem, who I allowed to stay based on validation, who I maybe, desired based on acceptance. My messages have always varied, but they were always loud and clear. Yes, even as a single woman. Now, going back to this passage, what's interesting and what I really love, what I find to be the most interesting is because Jesus was with these disciples all the time, right? He was always with the disciples and his message was clear. We knew what it was that the Son of Man came to do. But yet, oftentimes, the disciples wavered. And regardless of them wavering, regardless of whatever, Jesus was patient. Jesus extended grace. Jesus, he still taught them. He spoke to them in ways that they could actually understand. He explained how to love him. He explained how to love others. He made it very clear on who he was, what he came to do, and what the future held. And let me tell you, this applies to you as a single Christian woman. Because what I see is that there are a lot of single women who are to be Christ followers, but they often waver in their faith. And they don't date, they date, but they don't communicate certain things clearly. They ghost men when they're tired. They block men at the sign of one at the sight of one thing that maybe they actually misunderstood or misinterpreted. They lack patience that is necessary to build relationships, and they fail to extend grace. Because what I do know is that it's always so easy to defend ourselves while throwing the book at men for what it is they're doing. What is your message is what I want to know. What is your message that you are clearly and loudly speaking that is evident based on your dating language? Because let me tell you, my friend, your message will be the reason for you dating and wanting what it is that you want. Your message will be your vision, your character, and your intentional dating skills that are all tied together that'll get you results. So, are you clear on why you're dating and what it is you want? Do your actions in this season clearly state your message? The kind of things that you think, your thoughts, do they tell what your message is? The words that you speak, do they tell what your message is? Your actions and how you conduct yourselves, the things you do, the places you go, what it is that you do to and allow to happen to your body, does it clearly state what your message is? Do the men that you date and entertain show and reflect clearly what your message is stating? Can we go a little bit deeper? Do your spending habits and how you treat and view money clearly state your message? Do the emotions that you display clearly state your message? Do your expectations clearly state your message? Does your respect for men clearly state your message? Because it's easy to state that you want something. It's easy to say that you want a certain kind of relationship, that you desire a certain kind of man. You want to see a certain kind of thing actually take place and happen one day in your eventual marriage, and you want to have a blessed marriage, but yet you're not showing it by how you carry yourself and how you operate currently, meaning that you really don't want it. Meaning you really don't want what it is you say you want because your actions are showing differently. Either that or you don't think that you're really going to get it. Wavering faith, just like the disciples. I will tell you this, my single ladies, all right? And especially my fans and the We Will Win family and the people who have actually done things with me in New Thing Life Coaching, y'all already know about that number 22. When God had already was showing me like what the number 22 was going to, signify as far as my business with helping single Christians, but even just all of those scriptures that had, either the chapter or the verse 22 that had something to do with godly marriages. And 2022 is going to be that year that, again, many of you are going to see significant changes in your love life and in your relationship status. I know that for a fact. I know it to be true because of that number specifically. That is the number that also had me, doing new love language when a lot of you came into the different rounds that I did of the new love language group coaching program, because God was showing me, prepare these women. And it was, again, all of those different scriptures that was showing me all the things that can make or break a marriage. So again, we talked about sex and submission and purpose and all of those different things that we needed to work on in this season. Well, I am so happy to announce that I've actually merged two things recently. I've experienced, or I've just kind of went through a little merger that I'm excited about for 2022. And right now, what I have is a new community that is forming where I joined the New Love Language 12-week group coaching program, and then TSI, the Sassy Institute, my self-paced coaching program that some of you are still in even now. And what I did was I am merging those, like I said, for next year, where I'm taking the 12 things from New Love Language. They are still bricks in the monthly courses that are similar to TSI, because my message is clear at this point in my life. My message when it comes to New Thing Life Coaching is clear, and I am serious about those women who are serious about dwelling in God's love, developing self love, and discovering real love. And this 3D perspective is the basis for what is now going to be known as the N2L community. And N2L because it's still new love language. And I'm helping you develop a new love language when it comes to God's love, self love, and real love. I am here to help women who are serious about renewing their heart to win. So there are some changes that are pretty clear right now on the website. I am revamping a few things, including what all I am going to be offering as a coach and as the New Love Strategist. The group, the SAS tribe, will remain up, for daily affirmations, the occasional videos, and yeah, still doing a little bit of, like just different things to share occasionally. But the VIBs, and when I say VIBs, I'm sorry, that's like the family who are like the very important believers, the ones who have been in a program, they've done one-on-one coaching with me. We are moving to a new community because I am forming and I'm serious about forming the We Will Win community, saying we will win at real love. You're going to see branded merchandise all of 2022. And I mean hoodies, drawstring bags, coffee mugs, tank tops, jewelry, all kind of stuff, because I want your message to be loud and clear next year. No more dating by faith. No more being in the talking stage with a man for years. No more being strung along by inconsistent men. We are not doing any of that. I want you clear on what your message is. I got clear on mine in business because God was clear on the women that I was supposed to help. I'm not for everybody. And I also got clear on my message in relationships because I'm sick of the games. I was sick of the nonsense. I was sick of allowing men to get away with what it is that they were getting away with. And when I got clear on my message in both, again, romance and business, that is when my income changed. That is when my love life changed. Everything changed when I got clear on my message. No more trying to convince men why I'm worthy. No more trying to convince women why they should work with me. So to now be able to say, hey, like business is doing great and I'm in love. Like that's a win-win. I want to motivate you on today to get clear on your message. And I literally mean your message. I want you to know who you are, what you want, what you desire, know what it is that you deserve. And I want you to actually think in your head, like what your message is. Like, I am a woman who da 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 da, blah, 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 blah. It can be one or two sentences, and I want it to be just clear. I mean, even if it's a paragraph, I really don't want you to do a paragraph, but I want you to get clear and I want you to embody it and I want you to memorize it. Even if you are the only one that knows that message. Matter of fact, I want you to be the only one to know your message. Don't share that message with anyone, especially men, because you tell men what it is you want. And again, if you're not operating from a place of, using wisdom and discernment, then you can end up sharing that message, sharing that desire with a man, and they'll become everything it is that you want them to be. And then that will not go very well. You'll have a counterfeit. I want you to know who you are and develop that message, embody that message, speak it over yourself, because when you do, here's what I know for a fact: you are going to date better, you are going to be more confident, and you will have boundaries in your dating life. I know that 100% to be true. So let this new motivation motivate you on today, ladies. Again, I cannot repeat it enough. 2022 is the year that a lot of you are going to see a supernatural breakthrough in your love life. If you do the work. So I want you to be blessed, and I want you to remember, as always, we will win.